Welcome back to Third Coast Podcast. I'm Joe. What it do, Gators? And you're listening to episode 283, Community First. And on this episode, me and Kobi was joined with Mr. Ben Jones. And Ben elaborates on his recent community projects that he's been involved in around Oakdale, Louisiana. And Ben also elaborates on his recent hunting trip to Mississippi, where he killed a 7-point deer and brought us back some meat. But we all just collectively talk about our personal hunting stories and how hunting has affected us and how much we love and enjoy it. And then Ben elaborates on his recent trip from the VA hospital in Arkansas and how that has shaped his journey. And this episode is nice and long, and this is probably the most you're going to hear from me for a while. So sit back and enjoy. And if you ain't checked out Third Coast Podcast, check out Third Coast Podcast on 5000ws.thirdcoastpodcast.com, on all major streaming platforms, on all social media platforms, and make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Let's get into the show.
I think we got it this time. Honestly.
Possibly.
What it do, Gators? we are back. Man, how long has it been? Like for us three, it's been
maybe 2.5 years.
It's so crazy that the time just
almost 2 years.
And say time gets the best of us. Or what's that expression? Oh, it happens to the best of us. Where the fuck did that come from? You know what I'm saying? Like this is like saying like lukewarm water. Who the fuck is Luke? First off. Right. We don't know that guy. Do you know him?
No, I do not.
I know a few Lukes.
I mean, yeah, but like, where does it entail to like the temperature of water? Maybe we should look that up. Anyway, welcome back to Third Coast Podcast. I'm Kobi, one of the co-hosts. We got this fella right here.
I'm Joe. What it do, Gators?
Big Charmin, and we are joined by one of our beloved brothers from back in the day. Always resonates. That just like the energy in the room just comes together. Brother Ben.
Hey, what's up? Ben Jones in the house.
Damn Skippy, bro.
Nice to be here. Good to see y'all.
Joe told me he had a surprise for me, and I never know what it could be because it could be anything from like shitty fucking snacks from like fucking countries you don't. It's very questionable things to beers that we should not be drinking, or it's always when it does happen. Good people.
Yeah, I brought some deer meat for y'all too. I wanted to tell y'all.
It's free. He's not charging us. Yeah, that's illegal.
Nice.
No, a lot of stuff I end up doing is for free. Like we were just talking earlier about that sign I was painting at the baseball field. That's just free stuff. Like I started figuring out, man. It's like what's that saying? Like your cup overfloweth or whatever. And so when I started realizing that I was so blessed in all these different areas, so it's like. If long as I'm taken care of, then I can keep helping other people or I can try to help other people. So it's like I'm just letting my cup run over. And so everybody that I end up associating with is getting part of that.
Okay, so that doesn't mean to get another big ass cup, right?
Nah.
Okay. I was like, man, you need a bigger cup, but no, whatever runs over because it's It's not frivolous. It's not frugal.
Fruitful.
There it is.
Yes.
Fucking alliteration in this motherfucker.
Right. So it's like I'm collecting my fruits and I'm saying that I got enough fruits to survive, right? So I can start like spreading the fruit out to whoever that I associate with or that I help or that I want to like give to that person or whatever, like how you go check on old people or you check on your family or whatever.
I
you know
think
what
we
I'm saying?
should do that more, is checking on old people.
Yeah. I got some friends of my father's that I was like, man, my father would be 89 if he was still alive, right? And so there's some friends of my father's that's still alive, like John Strother. I'll go by and see John Strother. We sit on the porch and rocking the rocking chairs and talk about whatever. But he was a friend of my father's, and I feel like that it's almost like a part of becoming a man. It's like it's our part. It's almost like what we're supposed to do when we get to a certain age and pick up the slack of kind of like our part in community or our part in society. It's like we're supposed to be the ones now that are lifting up everybody and helping everybody because we're of that age.
Because like as kids, that's kind of, I mean, depending on where you come from and how you're raised, and you know, everybody is a product at some point in time of their environment. But it is, we take a lot of things for granted from our elders as young people. You know, we never really think about or appreciate their words of wisdom or just like their take on things, their hot take, which some is questionable. You know what I'm saying? Some of it is like systemic. But if you don't talk to them,
you don't know what to question and what not to question.
Exactly. You know? Yeah. I have a wonderful old married couple at the very beginning of my road out in Dry Creek, and I love stopping by with them because they're just salt of the earth, fucking super sweet. We're always exchanging fucking sweet peas and purple holes. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's what I'm saying. So that's why I brought the deer meat for y'all, because I went hunting with my family in Mississippi.
What you trying to say? I need to eat, man.
Bruh,
I just lost some weight, bro.
When I'm cooking this deer meat, like barely any grease comes off of it at all. I can see a huge difference between the lean meat and like fatter meat that's got a lot of grease in it and stuff.
What's the ratio mix on it?
Man, I got beef fat in it, but I don't know the ratio. I just know that I killed 2 deer and I got 47 pounds of ground meat from it. And so so each one of these little packs is a pound each. And what I done figured out is that if I cook a pound, it makes about 4 or 5 tacos for me. So like if
that's a
Jimbo,
big ass taco.
Right, it is. Yeah, but I'm saying like if I'm the only one eating and I try to put as much in that taco as I can, it ends up being about 5 tacos I can get out of 1 pound pack, right? And
so when you do your tacos, which I'll be seeing you do your tacos.
let's talk taco.
He's on that flat top outside.
That's right. Talk about it, baby.
You gotta, all right. So whenever I think tacos, whenever I crave tacos, it's just like bare bones essentials.
Right.
I need white onion.
No fixins.
No, I need white onion.
Have you seen that?
Cilantro. Oh, that yeah, I know. Fixins.
I know you like so many fixins.
Cilantro and white onion.
Yeah.
That's the only vegetable.
I love the cilantro, bro. That's one of my go-tos.
It fucking makes for it. But you know that for those, there's 2 types of people in this world. Ones who love it, and the other
think
ones
it tastes like soap. I know some people like that.
Well, it's like they're part of their palate. It's like it's like genetic, their makeup. You know what I'm saying? And it sucks because I have Alex Lee actually. Whenever we go camping or we rent a cabin up in Zwolle and stuff, I always make pico for fish tacos.
Right.
I have to
love the pico.
I have to make a batch separate that has no cilantro in it.
Right.
But whenever I think of tacos, getting back to the price of butter, it's just you use corn tortillas.
Sometimes. I get to where I like the larger flour tortillas, but if it's going to be a hard shell, I like the corn.
See, I thought I knew you.
Yeah, and so like
I don't know who you are anymore.
The large flour tacos. Let me tell you why. Is because you can soak up so much of that greasy like stuff with them when you cooking them. So and they'll bubble. Like you get those bubbles inside the flour, so you can almost soak up more of the leftover juice in the flour tortillas.
You're getting all the grimmies off,
but
of
not
it.
the small ones. I don't like those small flour tortillas.
I fuck with.
Got to be the large.
Dude, I go to a taco truck. I will spend about $40. Knowing that I'm gonna eat these bitches hot and cold. I'm gonna eat too many of them at one time, and I'm gonna have some at some point, either later on tonight or tomorrow.
Right. That's right.
But
I got to where I started doing mine a certain way. Right. I already know it's almost down to a science. I'm about to give it to you.
Tell me about it.
So look, I know how many pieces of wood that it's gonna take to get that pan hot enough for me to cook 1 pound of meat. So like if I know that I'm going to get 5 tacos out of this, I know I need 20 pieces of this oak wood, right? So I have to go and cut the wood intentional for 5 tacos, right? That I'm going to make. I got to get it down to where it's just that, because you don't want to spend all your time busting wood. You just need just enough wood to get
about like foot long splits.
Right.
About like that.
Yeah, that's right.
All right.
So because you need it to get hot enough in there to where it gets the pan hot enough where you're actually cooking. And so I use another pan to put on top of that hot plate basically to retain the heat and make it almost like a convection oven inside there.
You still got the brick dome?
Yep. Yeah. Well, no, it's a different brick now. I tore that down because it had little imperfections that over time it was starting to wear down.
No, don't say imperfections.
I had to start working a different, and I built a new lean-to.
Held heat.
Right. So this one does too. I built a new lean-to and everything over it. But what I started doing was once I get it to a roaring heat and I put the meat on there, I mix in the pico. And my friend Escobar, he told me, you know what pico means? It's spicy rooster.
Really?
Right? Yeah. If you the pico de gallo means chicken, right? And so pico, it's like colorful chicken or whatever. So it's because it's all the colors that a rooster would have like in their feathers.
Okay.
Isn't that crazy?
There's some etymology
pico de gallo. And so,
okay.
all right. So then the cilantro and lime, that's my two things.
I forgot about the lime. You gotta have the lime.
Limes. I even got my own little masher to I cut the lime in half and then mash it in there and just drizzle the lime juice all over it. And so it ends up getting through the meat and basically cooking in the lime juice. You know how I used to do the boudin in the pickle juice?
Boudin and pickles. This motherfucker right here.
The same thing with the meat into the lime juice. It's the same thing. See, you're using the lime juice instead of pickle juice.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing. Miyamoto Musashi, the Japanese samurai from like 1700s, he said, once you understand the way broadly, you can see it in all things.
Oh, shit.
So
we got words of wisdom early this fucking episode.
I'm just telling you, it's like you can see the way, and it's just there's different avenues that call you to be that artist for that art at that time. You see what I'm saying? So it's like in my cooking, I do it a certain way. And then while I'm doing it, I might see something that I learned from fishing or from feeding or riding the horse or from bow and arrow. It's like you understand. Right. And you can see the target and you know where you're trying to get. And that's what I was saying about the editing of the videos. It just got to where it's second nature, just almost like me breathing. Like I wake up, I look at this board of what I got to do that day. And I keep a track of it. It's
premeditative without it being performative.
Right.
Yeah.
I premeditate what I got to do based off of me seeing where the needs need to be done. So I walk around just chilling, right? I'm just hanging out and I see something needs to be done. Well, I don't do it right then. I go put it on the board because it's got to get in line. Like there's already like so many things that I got to do that I already have planned to do. And so if this isn't as pressing, like it's not as pressing as something else. Say that I have a busted water leak, right? Well, that's going to be more pressing than the cutting the firewood because I need to, you see what I'm saying? So depending on what the thing is that needs to get done, that's its list and precedence on the board. And so my friend Marquez from Special Forces and Military is the one who taught me that. He said, in selection, they don't tell you what to do. You just go to the board every morning and you find out what needs to be accomplished. Right.
Well, same thing on the boats I work at. You got this is like the task. Mm-hmm. As long as this is like the main thing that has to be accomplished today, everything else is extra.
Yep. Lanyard.
Yep.
And so it's cool if it gets accomplished, but if it don't get accomplished, okay, we can get to it later.
Yeah, it's job security, cuz.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's like I continuously am doing something, and it looks like, man, Ben's always doing something. I'm just going down the board and the list and making sure that I stay fed and whatever. My friend Ronnie that lives in Colorado, he told me, he said, you can walk like this or you can walk like this.
That's right, Ronnie.
Yeah. And so it's like everything that I do, it's like you can do it a certain way, but you just put your own little twist to it and you take ownership of it and just start walking with it. And so, and then like right now, I find myself almost sometimes like in this flow state of meditative, like almost state while I'm doing stuff. It's like I just keep breathing. And while I'm doing it, and then you stop in the middle of doing it and you're like, damn, I'm at the Allen Parish Police Jury reading my book to all these people from Louisiana Regional Landfill right now. And just a little while ago, I was in front of the board looking at, you need to write this story about the woodpecker. Or you need to write this.
That was in regards to like it was the runoff from the
leche. They call it the black
leche.
water. Leche.
Oh yeah, because leche.
Yeah,
but leche's milk in Spanish.
leche. Well, it's
you
dirty
said that
milk.
earlier. I'm like, man, that's some badass
Some
milk.
dirty milk.
That's some black milk.
Yeah. So basically, that is right by my land. And so the last time I was on here with y'all, we were talking about the Pawnee Pines in the book and all my animal stories.
You're working on number 2.
Right. And so because the stories didn't stop. And so basically I ran out of pages in the first journal that I was keeping. So it really wasn't never an end to it. It's all part of the documentation process. And so eventually I'm going to end up with like 3 or 4 of these like journals or compendiums or stories about the animals.
You know what I can see you doing, which I'm surprised you haven't done yet.
What's that?
It may have crossed your mind. Binding your own book.
Oh yeah, I've thought. Hey, look,
creating your own pages, rough,
well, look,
handmade, fucking.
Listen, you're gonna love this. All right, I know you've been watching, right?
I stay watching.
So
man.
you see my cedar canvases that I've been painting on.
Yeah.
All right, so
hold on. The same cedar you redid your side with.
The same cedar. It's cedar that my father grew on our land, right? That I harvested and milled and saved our outdoor kitchen with.
Yeah.
And now I have
what I'm talking about,
land yapping. So I built a shed for our cow that's in the field to block like the storm and the north wind out of some of the excess. And one day I was out there and I was looking at the cedar planks that I have left, and I saw the lines in one of them, and it looked almost like a mountain, right? And so I was like, oh shit. And I just tilted my head to where I can see it sideways. And I was like, I'm going to cut that out and I'm going to start painting on that, right? Because paper and canvas that we're already painting and writing on comes from trees. Right, or
allegedly,
some type of tree, or some type of stuff that they can compound like together.
The pulp,
right?
Yeah.
So, I was like, okay, cypress and cedar doesn't rot.
Nope, hard.
So that means
that other hardwood,
that like when pieces of pine or plywood and stuff over time rot with certain paintings or whatever on them, that this won't. So I was like, oh shit. I can paint my Pawnee Pine stories on the cedar planks that I grew out here on Pawnee.
Say that again.
I can paint my Pawnee Pine stories on the cedar planks that came from Pawnee.
Say that fucking 10 times.
Right.
Fast, boy.
But when I figured that out, it was like, oh shit, I can just paint all these stories onto these. So one day when I have all of this compiled together, right, and I look back and it's like 3 or 4 books and I have all these paintings of the stories on these cedar planks, I can just take all that to a book publisher and be like, here, just drop it off.
Like, but you ain't got a lathe.
But even if that doesn't happen, I'm still compiling the documentation of it in the process of it.
Yeah.
So because if you just all the time build yourself up for disappointment, or then it's like you can almost get discouraged to stop. And I had to get to the point where I'm doing the art for the sake of the art. And because I'm a person, I'm a human expressing my art and wherever I'm put at. And once I cross that it's like an imaginary line almost. Like once I broke through that plane, all the art started meaning more. And it's like the living process started meaning more to me of being alive and documenting it, not for the sake of like, I want to be famous or I want it to be known, but just for the sake that I'm here, I'm alive. You know what I mean? So while I'm alive, like I have these abilities that I can use to share my life with all these other people. And so that's why I bring deer meat to my friends and family now, or that's why I hit somebody up that I know struggling.
Deer meat that you harvested.
That I harvested with my family.
Yeah.
Hey, my father's side of the family is from Liberty, Mississippi, right? My mother's side was from here well, they're not even from here. It was from like Oklahoma and Kansas that my grandfather came down here. But both sides of my family were all military people. Like my father was military, my uncle was military, my grandfather on my mother's side was military. So they all have this like training or whatever about them. But my family in Mississippi is real woodsman, like real woodsy. Like to me, I feel like I ain't shit. Like compared to some of my family,
you're pretty fucking hands on.
That's what I'm saying. Now, so listen to me. What I'm saying is that I feel like that I'm really good at a lot of things, right? But I ain't got shit on some of my big cousins that's living over there in Mississippi that have been hunting and living off the land for like years. They're farming the deer, bro. They have hundreds of acres where they're controlling, like they're foresters and stuff. They're controlling the livelihood of the forest and giving the deer somewhere to live and to get big.
It's their land.
It's their land.
It's not DMAP or nothing like that.
It's their land,
That's
so
awesome.
they can do whatever they want with it. And so their deer are healthy. And when they go out there, it's like you're almost expected to harvest something if you're a good shot.
Well, at that point, if you're maintaining it in that regard, you're colding.
Yeah.
You know, like you're only
the woods are gonna take it. If you don't take that animal after a certain time of its life,
exactly.
the woods or the wolves or the coyotes or the ants or something's gonna take it. And so you come to a point where it's like, okay, if I don't take it, that's gonna happen. So I can take it for my family. I can take it to this place that they brought me to. It's called Vines. Right. Well, Vines had this paperwork. You pulled up, you dropped off your meat. But before we got to that, I hadn't killed a deer since I was like 12 years old with my father.
I killed my first buck 2 years ago, dude, and the feeling has not escaped me. It was riveting.
So like I remember being like a kid and him holding me and me pulling the trigger, but it wasn't the same as me being there in the stand by myself and shooting the deer. When the first one came out, I saw that it was just like a spike, but it looked like it might have one more on.
Or was it a cow horn?
No, it was a spike, but it had another piece sticking out of one of them. So it looked like it was like a 3-point.
It's like a.
It's a term for
the A2 or whatever.
Right.
Each point has like or an E3 fucking.
Yeah. So I
Y'all know what it is.
I saw it come out.
Look that shit up.
Right. When I saw it come out, I got my breathing down, right? Because I got all this military training and I was like, oh, I got this. I hit him and he went like down his front left side and his left arm tucked in and his head was almost on the ground. He was dragging, going like in a curve, trying to get back into the woods.
They always, my ex-brother-in-law, who he is a huntsman, woodsman, like he lives and breathes it to provide it for his family.
Right.
The whole fucking deer. The shit, when you watch TV shows of like these hunters and the shit they talk about, you just think they're fucking just, just talking to talk sometimes. No, these motherfuckers, they know what about the deer. If they get hit there, they will usually circle back.
Yeah.
Or they will veer like that.
So my cousin,
almost every fucking time
I texted him as soon as after it happened, and he was like, "Stay there in the stand, just stay there."
Yep.
And so he was like, "I'll come by after when it starts getting dark, and we'll follow the blood trail." This dude, I ain't never been so impressed with somebody. Like, I already knew that his name's Trey Jones. I already knew that Trey was into forestry and hunting and like turkeys. He showed me all his deer mounts and stuff. But when he started tracking that blood, bro, he asked me where I shot it and where it went. We looked at the little marks in the ground and he saw a spot and he said, "Stand right there." And then he walked a little farther and he found the blood trail again. And he said, "All right, come here." But he said when you by yourself, he keeps caution tape in his jacket and he puts a little piece of caution tape everywhere he sees the blood, and so he can follow the trail. And we kept following it and crossed this little creek, and there it was sitting there, and I had hit it through on right behind his shoulder on the left side, and it come out right there in the chest. And so that was a pretty good feeling, but I was like, bro, I don't want to take pictures next to this. It don't look like a buck. Like, it don't look like,
right.
You know what I'm saying? But I was happy to have the meat, and we went back and we hung it up, and I think we dulled our knife like 2 or 3 times getting all the meat. And he told me that they charge you less if you bring it already deboned to the place. And so that's why we were doing it. But I was planning on keeping the hides.
Field dressing.
Right.
Yeah.
But we did it back at his house. We brought it back to his house and hung it up and did it there. So then the next morning we went out there, and so I was smoking a joint when he was coming to pick me up. I got about halfway through it and I put it out and I put it in my pocket. we got out there, and he goes and puts me in his stand, right? And I'm
man, you smell, bro.
Yeah, so that's what I was thinking.
You fucking stink,
so
dude.
Look, so the whole time, but I'm out there in the stand, I'm hunting, I can just smell the joint in my pocket. This whole time, like a doe come out, bro.
They can smell it from fucking hundreds of yards.
The doe come out, and she looked at me. I didn't even make a noise, bro. And this bitch looked at me like she knew I was there. And I was telling myself, bro, she smells that joint in your pocket. Like,
did she snort at you?
Nah, she didn't snort. And so look, she goes back, and then she comes back with 2 or 3 of them. 2 or 3 does come out. And I was like, oh, that buck's coming soon, right? The buck's going to be
chasing
after
that
him.
ass.
Right.
Yeah.
But then my cousin texted me. He was like, hey, we about to go get breakfast. You ready? And I was like, yeah, that's fine. Let's go. So I got out the deer stand. I walked back to the gate. He pulls up in the truck, and he shows me a picture. And he's like, there's like a 8-point standing right where you just left. But look, as soon as he showed me that picture, I knew right then that deer had smelled that joint. He watched me leave, right? That deer watched me leave because he smelled that joint. He knew I was in there.
I don't see, but I fucking smell you,
yeah,
dude.
so look, so he was like, you want to go get him? I was like, yeah, let's go get him. And so we start trying. I knew that I didn't want to like hurry back because my heart rate and everything, I was gonna have to make this shot, right? Like,
dude, you get so excited, dude.
Bro, I was sitting there thinking, I just saw this picture of this 8-point standing right where I was.
So you fucked up.
So yeah, so my heart was racing, right? And I'm trying to move as fast as I can to get back to get a good shot. We get up there, and he says, bend down. Like, I was like, I can't, my knee, because I had 2 knee surgeries the last year. And so he was like, well, just wrap the strap. And so I wrapped the strap.
Dude, lay down.
Look, I wrapped the strap around my hand, and I pulled it tight, and I was already breathing heavy, and I knew I wasn't going to be able to get my breath right. So I just started counting how long I was on my down breath.
On the drop, yeah.
Yeah. And so when I got to the 3rd one, I pulled the trigger, and I hit him perfect in the heart. Man. And so he took maybe like 10 stops, and we both heard him crash right there, and we went up, and then it was ended up being a 7-point. The 1 point that was right here had
on the inside,
yeah, had worn off. But
that's from rubbing.
That's a big deer right there. Bruh, 7 point.
He ended up being like 95 pounds or something like that,
without
anything. Like
that's a good size boy,
bro. I thought that I had been doing a good job exercising and staying in health until I started having to pull that.
No, you pulled that.
I started having to pull that deer out of the brush, bruh. And he's like, get it back over here. We can put it in the truck. I was like, oh shit. Like, I'm going to have to. And so I'm trying to take videos. My heart's racing and everything. So what I did was to commemorate, because I was going to take the hide and end up with the meat. I did a painting on, in time lapse of me and him standing there at this place when I shot the deer. And so I did it on a piece of cedar that I'm going to give to him. I'm going back on the 30th. Yeah. Right. So it would be like my gift to him of saying like, thank you for taking me out here. Cause we went on his land where he had put all this time and effort and the feeders. And it's like constant. It made me feel like they aren't playing, or like I wasn't like in the right ballpark of understanding
right.
how they were hunting deer until I seen him trail that blood, bro. When I seen that, I was like, oh my God. And then once you take into consideration everything that they're doing to be able to raise the deer, they know what deer is there. They know what deer is not there. They know what hogs are there. They know what's there. They know what grass is there, what trees are there. So they're basically controlling the environment in order to raise up these deer to harvest the deer.
Fuck yeah.
So you just have to be able to be a good shot and a good hunter.
And don't smell like...
smell like... Yeah, don't smell like colitas.
Whenever you had said, remind me about like trailing a deer, like if you have blood or whatever. So something that a lot of people don't know. Have you ever... Well, I recently discovered this over just getting back into deer hunting. So, because there's been a couple of times I went with somebody to trail a deer. Like, dude, I need some help. You know, we find it, and then...
I think John Wynn does that now.
And all of a sudden, you get no trail no more.
No trail.
So, like, deer blood is high in vitamin K. So, with that is a high clotting.
All right.
So, it's like a internal...
Clotting.
Yeah. So, like, whenever you lose a trail, their blood is doing what it's supposed to be fucking doing. Is clotting that fucking wound, and it's gonna either save them or give them a little bit more life to get the fuck out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Another thing about smoking weed, the very first deer that I ever killed, because like I tried to enjoy myself and make an experience, a good fucking funny story, right?
Yeah.
My first deer was a doe, big old mama. I went with my ex-brother-in-law, and the dude was, you want to go hunting? Like, yeah, fuck yeah, man. So, of course, I bring my backpack. I got a fucking sixer, a fucking Miller Lite in there, pints. I was smoking weed at the time. And I knew, and I was smoking cigarettes heavily. And I knew about the whole scent thing, so I got there like fucking like 3 hours. I got there like 3:30 in the morning. Fucking smoke my joint, smoke me a cigarette, drink the beer, and then kill the deer. So my first deer I ever killed, because we didn't go big game hunting as a kid. We did small game, waterfowl, rabbits, and shit like that. We killed hogs and stuff, whatever. But it was so. I already knew. I was there for the experience, but I wasn't taking it as serious until it happened.
Right. And so that almost leads me into the difference between the Pawnee Pines one book that I was writing and the second one. It's almost like now I've become almost like a hunter of some of the animals, but I understand the reason why. And it's not an abusive hunting. It's a survival, and it's understanding that I know where this meat came from.
Exactly.
I know what's in this meat. I know, it's almost the same as raising corn up. It's almost the same thing. It's just a different avenue. And so, it's almost like opened up more doors, like in my mind, of what I can use land for, or how I can help environment, because it's like,
it's not for sport. It's
for that meat's lean, bro. I'm telling you, look, I have felt better.
That's the healthiest shit that you can fucking eat, and it's wild. Because I had just recently befriended a lady who was a vegetarian, or she ate shrimp something. So borderline vegetarian, borderline pescatarian. She didn't eat meat a lot or whatever. And I told her that I had just got reintroduced into big game hunting, and she was kind of standoffish about it. And I was like, look, this isn't for sport. This is like, I feed my daughter this.
Right.
I fed my daughter deer stew last night.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's cheaper than beef. I can kill one fucking deer and live off of that deer for a fucking year, dude.
Listen, it cost me $149 to get 47 pounds processed with beef fat.
That's fucking good.
Yeah, and so if I go to the grocery store,
organic
here, then you get a pound and a half, right? You're going to pay $10 for a pound and a half.
Yep.
Right? So if you look at that compared to the price,
of fucking some mush shit.
And so it's just now it's almost like I'm becoming the man part of the woods, where it's like you want to conserve the nature, but at the same time, that meat that's going to die out there in the woods that you don't kill, that the coyotes get, that could be feeding your family or feeding you.
And I see the deer that come through the backside of the pond.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I take pictures of all them.
Yeah, you have like Nat Geo on your fucking land, dude, behind your pond, or where back behind the levee where it sloughs down. Where the
That's
runoff
where I
is.
was trying to tell those Louisiana landfill regional people about.
You motherfuckers.
No, well, see, I feel like that they need to understand and put a face and a picture to everything, and not just, we're going to go out there where nobody hardly lives and we're going to drill. It's like, I want you to see my face. I want you to hear these stories, and I want you to see these things.
This is your home,
right?
Yeah,
yeah. But they now own the portion where they're owned, so it's like they have private land where they can basically do this. That's why they have to go through the ethics board.
That's why we can't have nice things, man.
What's that? A new landfill out there?
No, it's not a new landfill. they wanting to inject the leachate water because it had leaked into Beaver Creek and was going toward Ville Platte and Cypress Creek. And they said the police juror from Evangeline Parish said that they went out there with the man and he showed
talking about the plant on the way to fucking
the one on
Beaver Creek?
No,
on the right.
No.
Not that water treatment.
No. The one at Pawnee, the landfill, on Pawnee Road.
See, I don't know that one.
Well, it's leaking because there's creeks. That motherfucker. There's creeks and everything back there that leak right into different parts. Well, there was this black water and all kind of maggots, juice, and different stuff that was coming down the stream that's normally not there. They took pictures of all that and everything, and they made a big deal about it. And they found out
from like overflow.
It's from so whenever you got a big ton of the trash right inside the levees around that thing.
Yeah, there should be a berm. Yeah,
right. Well, there's always going to be some type of seepage off of that.
I don't like that word.
No,
that's not
a good word.
Not a good word.
Seepage. There's always going to be some type that gets into the ground or gets into the water or finds its way around. Some people are saying that they intentionally dumping it
from here, from this area of Louisiana. As you continue south, our water table is so fucking high already. So the ground just saturates. So
they were talking about 7,000 feet that they want to inject it.
Is prevalent,
right?
That's prevalent seepage.
So they want to take that seepage basically, and instead of putting it into the back of a truck, right, and then hauling it somewhere else, they want to go ahead and drill the injection site there on site so that they can take the seepage and put it into a pipe and then put it into the ground. But they want to go 7,000 feet. Our water table is like 3,500.
Yeah, but our water table, you can dig.
So basically, they're talking about going through it. And so the concern of everybody is how...
That's going to contaminate our natural water.
Right. Is it going to get into our aquifers and stuff that we're drinking and everything? So that's what we were all there talking about. And I was able to bring up the book and show them the compendium and everything I've been keeping track of.
No!
Yeah, basically. And I was like, I spent 27 months in Iraq, and I was like, we used to have to drink water bottles as potable versus non-potable water. Fuck. You see what I'm saying? And that's what I'm going back to on my own land. I got to drink water bottles.
I just want good water, man.
Yeah. It was like, bro, y'all taking the air already because it smells like shit. And then the sound, you're taking my ears because I hear dump trucks all the time. Now you're going to take our water.
And you can fucking smell it, too.
Yeah, you can smell it. I'm not far from it. When I fly up that drone that I got from Jake, I can fly up the drone and I can see I'm under a mile from it. I'm probably the closest one in the Lessers.
Yeah, dude, that immediately impacts you. That's
not just me. The deer, the animals that people are harvesting from out there, all of that gets. So it's like I have eagles sometimes that show up on my land. Well, who's to say those eagles aren't in there eating that trash sometimes, and then they're getting contaminated from the stuff
now
too.
We got shitty eagles.
Well, that goes into like the carbon capture stuff I've been talking with people about, and it's funny too. Wait, they're trying.
Like carbon footprint or carbon? What is carbon capture?
It's when they take CO2 and inject it into.
There's a big thing going on with these same
pipelines. And it's supposed to like stay down there for whatever
They're trying
reason.
to pass something called eminent domain, where they can basically come on a private property and do carbon sequencer.
Hey, we need to get rid of this. Let's just put it in earth.
Right. They're wanting to test and put stuff into certain areas to test like the carbon, but then they want to inject carbon into areas where they feel like there are gaps.
But it's like in like rural areas.
Yeah, they're trying to
where you live, right? Where I fucking live.
Sportsman's paradise, and they're trying to turn it into a wasteland.
Science experiment.
Yeah, basically.
The fuck, we already losing fucking 3 footballs fields a year of fucking land.
Right. So it ends up being that I was telling my buddy I got on PlayStation because I also have a TikTok for gaming. Right.
I didn't know you game, dude.
Bruh, I got like 600 people always watching everything that it's still up at like it didn't have nowhere near
I've
as
been
many
telling
followers.
him for years he should fucking be doing that.
Bruh, I got a gaming TikTok called Bent Blaze, and it's because my name's Bender Blaze on PlayStation.
Okay,
and so that's my tag name or whatever. So I have a gaming TikTok, and I just post gaming TikTok because what I had realized was the people that follow me on my normal stuff, they never liked my gaming stuff. And the gaming people never liked my wood stuff.
Well, yeah, it's a different demographic.
Right.
Yeah.
So I just made a separate page for my gaming TikTok. And so I got on there to play PlayStation the other night with my buddy in Colorado that I was in the military with. he's like, what you been doing? I said, man, I'm an activist.
I'm protecting this motherfucking dirt.
It's like, I'm going to meetings and writing books and going out there and checking the flow of the water.
Yeah, but that's like, you've always been really in tune with the community and your environment. Like, I can say that versus anybody fucking else. I mean, like Joe had taught me about what is
few
it?
Things.
Local.
A few things.
But about local voting and how important it is because it directs you. I mean, it impacts you directly,
right?
Versus like, you know, congressional things. You know, that's like a broader thing. But like your local, that affects you. Like,
well, what I started realizing.
I was going to elaborate. Let me get one word, guys.
Get it.
Sorry.
So, reason why local voting is important. So, Oakdale
Allegedly.
recently had held a vote, and it was to permanently raise the sales tax in Oakdale by 3%. Right,
with the highest tax fucking parish in the fucking state.
The highest. Oh, okay, so we're the highest tax state in the United States, and Allen Parish is the highest tax parish in Louisiana, and Oakdale, Louisiana, is the highest tax place in Allen Parish. So technically speaking, Oakdale, Louisiana, is the highest tax place in America right now.
Hot dog! Give me get a round of applause for that.
Man,
but here's the kicker to everything about that. When the vote was held, right, there was 173 people voted on it.
Versus
123 voted yes and 50 voted no. I was one of the no's, but
out of a corporation town that has like what, 20,000 people?
We have, our population is around 8,000.
Oh, shit,
9,000. So you look at our population, less than 200 people decided for the next decade the tax rate in Oakdale, Louisiana.
That's fucking crazy, dude.
Less than 200 people.
That is fucking crazy.
If voting is not, if you like vote, you know, whatever Democrat, Republican, whatever. That
doesn't apply to like local commerce and shit.
Vote local, care about your local voting, because it's simple. If more people would have went out there and said no, because this is, you know, because what really happened is just a whole bunch of the rich, wealthy people went out and voted.
Why though? Why is it? Why higher taxes?
To help with infrastructure and stuff in Oakdale.
The fuck? This is the same people. It's the same fucking 5 families that's own this motherfucker. What type of fucking gradual impact is there besides buying up real estate and upcharging? Shout out. You know who you are. Fucking cocksuckers.
Yeah. But
I think it all goes back to inspiring people to actually care about where they're living. And so, whenever y'all see me like doing certain things, it's because
you don't fucking stop, man.
I figured out something though, bro. It's this 10% thing. Okay. So I've had people like my whole life talk to me about tithing and stuff in church. Right. But my whole thing is like, I want to know exactly where that money is going and what it's going for or whatever like this. So what I started doing was I started taking my 10% and I started giving it to specific individuals, like, or specific things, or like if I can go buy paint this month, or I can help paint this thing, or if I can go get some change for my saw to help cut this. Did you ask
to paint that sign, or you just did it?
No, I just did it because
fuck yeah, dude.
Because
we've been looking at that fucking dead ass sign for years.
No,
bro.
because this is what I know from that field, right? I've coached teams. I've been part of teams where we try to raise money, and like you end up getting discouraged at the amount that you don't get from people to try to help their field and their town.
Well, everybody wants something out of it.
Right. And so let me explain this about the field. The town owns the field. The high school doesn't even own the field. So the high school now has to pay a rent to the town to be out there.
Fucking crazy.
So because of this confusion about who actually owns the field, nobody ends up working on it. So I've been knowing about that since whenever I was like 18 out there
where's
coaching.
the incentive to give a shit?
Right. And so that's whenever somebody like me steps in, and
That's
you
right.
just start doing stuff to help, and people can see that you're not hurting it. As long as they can see you're not hurting it and going like above, like where you're graffitiing the whole thing. Like, I didn't hurt the board. I helped the board. I almost restored the board to restore faith, like in people, like to say like, nobody asks me to do this, but I can see that something needs done and I can step up and do it. But if it's out of my means to do it, like the flag, right?
Yeah.
There was no way that I was going to get 30 feet up in the air to put that, to fix that line, right?
Right.
So I had to contact somebody that was in that neighborhood that does that stuff.
With like a cherry picker.
Right,
Yeah.
which is where Justin Ware came into.
Shout out Justin,
Yeah,
yeah.
so Justin has a lift truck, and he came out there and was easy. Just got up there and took the cut line
Fucking
down,
15 minutes.
put the new one in. But I had got his phone number from TJ, but the coach, because and was also my friend. TJ told me that Justin always comes out there and tries to fix the netting for him.
Mm-hmm.
So he was already extending it's like it was volunteer stuff that he's trying to give back, because he has the abilities to do that with his truck, with his business that he does with lumber and everything. So see, he has this extra ability that he can give to the community, and he's found a way to give in a little ways, right? It's a little way, but you know how hard it would have been for me to get up 30 feet up in the air? I would have had to go rent something.
Yeah, come out of pocket for it.
Or try to ask who to pay me for that, Oakdale or the school.
And they don't want to pay you.
Right. So
Yeah.
then you just, okay, well, I'm going to figure out a way to get this done. So who do I contact that are in the means of doing this? See, I'm not, but
See,
he
there
is.
needs
So
to be
then,
more a sense of community in that regard.
Right.
Instead of everybody everybody wants a handout, but nobody wants to fucking give a handout.
right. So it's just bridging gaps, bro, and being respectful and tactful
Yeah,
to
but
people.
man, but sometimes, fuck, dude, it's so hard to fucking. You want to do good, but how is it recognized? Is it you're not doing it for recognition? You're doing it for a peace of mind.
Well, I see like somebody like for instance Adam Husong is the police chair for my area, right? And he's listened to me every time that I have an argument or I have something wrong that I put on Facebook about the road or this and that. He'll send me a message and then tell me how he's working on it. He'll tell me,
Hey, Ben, shut the fuck up.
no,
Like,
but
no, I'm just
but-
kidding. I'm
but
just kidding.
sort of in a way, but at the same time, he's going and trying to figure out ways to rectify the situation.
But to let you know that, hey, this is in motion.
I'm trying, right?
Yeah.
It's because some things aren't just a fix
And, who's that?
overnight.
Adam
Adam
Husong?
Husong. Like, shout out to Adam. And so I'm saying that there, as long as going back to what he says, see, Adam's in that position so that
make a
we can
difference.
go to him
Yeah.
as the people in that place to give us an avenue. So a lot of times people don't even know the avenue or who to go to or the right
because they feel like they
way.
got to jump through fucking hoops. And
So then it's
yeah.
just too much, and then we ain't gonna do it. So whenever I look at that sign, right, I'm passing by that sign, and I'm seeing that sign's faded away and everything, and it's like all this gray. So I'm just gonna go do it. If they want to come arrest me for doing this or whatever, but they're not going to
it's not
because
vandalism.
you're not hurting it.
Yeah.
I was restoring it, and it was almost when I was on the M, right, and I was painting Mowai,
You almost could put like a fucking another stain on it around the lettering.
right?
Yeah.
And I've been thinking about that too.
Hey.
But I'm saying that I felt it. I felt it when I was doing it that it was going to get a lot of likes and a lot of shares because the name Mowai has been so
It is-
impactful of what it's done for our town, right? So me just restoring that man's name on that field almost to me restored some type of spark, like of, hey, I can't do everything right, but I can go and bridge a gap and talk to the person that can.
Yeah.
Right. And so then if I can do this, like TJ said, man, you know what I need help with this gate over here because people are trying to get in and not paying their way in over here. If you can fix this gate for me. I went and looked at the gate and there's some rusted bolts on it and it had been taken off over here. But he doesn't have time to do that because he's coaching these people's
Right.
kids. You see what I'm saying? Like, so now I'm starting to see my position falling into this pocket, right? Like I'm starting to get in this pocket.
You look like a Robin Hood-esque, but without fucking taking from motherfucker. You're
I'm
just like, hey, look,
giving-
dude, I just got love, baby.
Right. So it's like, I'm starting to see like, okay, I can paint. I can fix stuff. I can figure out things because I have the time to figure them out now because I'm not burdened by all these outside things keeping me like, I don't have to go to work. I don't have to wake up at a certain time. So what I can do is I can say, hey, my friend's over here coaching and giving all his time to these people's kids all the time. So he didn't have any time to worry about this gate. He didn't have any time to fix this window pane that's broken in the commentary thing. So I went to Oakdale Glass and talked to Trampus, and then he said, tell him, give me the measurements and we'll get your thing over there. So you see what I'm saying? It's like you just got to be able to know who to talk to, the right way to talk to them. And,
but it's the initiative,
right? Yeah. It's almost like I said, a spark. It's just inspiring people to take pride in where they live and who they are and where they come from, and so that when people talk about us or talk about our town or talk about, then they'll be like, oh yeah, and then this person's over there doing this good stuff. Like we're always in the news for something bad or something going on.
Damn right.
And so it's like, man, Bob Marley said that the evils in the world don't ever take a break, so why should I? And so it's the same thing, bro. It's like you basically got to draw a line and decide which side that you're on. Like, are you on that side or you on that side? And then what you going to do about it? And then what can you do about it? So my whole saying has been do what I can, where I can, how I can. Without
having that fucking ego, that ego
right.
tailed into it. Because that's what a lot of people do.
Because I don't want anything from it because that's where you get caught up.
Like, hey, look at me. Look what I did. They want that recognition. No, just fucking go do it. You don't need to be, hey, you just be like, hey, that's fucking, that should be inspiring.
The documentation part of it comes in, I'm documenting what I'm doing. I'm documenting not only to keep track, but to prove what I'm doing, to show what I'm doing to inspire other people. But then also, if somebody wants to say that I'm doing something wrong, I have the proof on the video to show that I didn't hurt that sign. You see what I'm saying? I helped that sign.
Man, what was that shit that happened? Didn't you went to a home game and you did the drone over and they didn't like that.
Well,
what the fuck was up with that again?
No, it's because you're not supposed to fly over sporting events.
Yeah, it's airspace.
I didn't know.
It's a security thing.
See, I didn't know whenever that happened.
Okay, that
video ended up getting 42,000 views.
Yeah, that was a good
TikTok.
Fucking video. But I was like, man, what the fuck happened with that again?
No, they were like, hey, Ben Jones, if that's you flying up, because I had just seen some people, bro. I had just seen some people, and I was getting my drone out, and I had told people that I was gonna go.
The same one you got from Jake, right?
Yeah, same drone.
Shout out fucking Jake, man.
And so I flew up from in front of the school, bro, from in front of the school, and I went and I did a flyover, right? And when I did the flyover, I just stopped and I went over the field and I just kept going and flew back to me and dropped down and put it in the box and then went back. And that's whenever Charlie and them were playing at Yum Yums.
That's right. Yeah,
I went back and was showing people the video. And then Jesse Jones comes up to me and tells me, bro, they said your name over the thing. He was like, if that's Ben Jones flying the drone, tell him he can't be doing it during the game and shit. And so it wasn't until afterwards that like a councilman on the city council that also flies drones.
City councilman dude.
He was like,
I know you're talking about.
You need to make sure, like, people that aren't professionals need to make sure that they look up all the regulations and have all this. Basically, you have to register the drone and get an FFA license to be able to fly over. And even if you have if you have that, you're still not supposed to fly over live sporting events. And so
it was a great video.
I didn't know that.
It was very short lived. It was a great video.
Hey, everybody loved the video.
Yeah,
nothing came of it. Like I didn't get in any trouble or nothing like that. But basically, I learned from that day, like
small town living right there,
not to do that anymore.
The things you do, and then you learn from it.
So Ben, you brought up the hanging the flag at the baseball field.
Yep.
Where did you get the flag from?
Man,
is that an American-made flag?
All right, yeah. So the man that is dating my mother now, right? That I didn't know when his name is Ralph Stapleton, right? Ralph was a colonel in the military.
Fuck yeah.
Right. And so me and Ralph have gotten to know each other really well over the last year. We're like pretty good, like all the time, either working on the land or doing something. We're talking military stuff to each other. I had went to help TJ and I asked him about the flag. Well, then I had come home to Pawnee, and I saw my mom and Ralph, and I mentioned it to Ralph because I knew he went to the American Legion stuff. He was in parades or he would go to the meetings. So I went to the, you might want to come join, bro.
Yeah, that's why I brought it up.
The next time, because they basically said that anybody that is a family member of a military can join the auxiliary, but if you're a military veteran and stuff, then you automatically can join based off of your time in the service.
Right.
So I told Ralph, I was like, you know what? Because when I went last year to the PTSD clinic in Arkansas, I was in there for 8 weeks in Little Rock.
In Little Rock, yeah.
In Little Rock, Arkansas. Beautiful campus called Fort Roots that's right along the Arkansas River.
Oh, man, that is fucking nice.
It was built in 1895, right? And it was used as a southern fort overlooking the river, right? It is crazy.
They did that on purpose. Like, we're gonna do this here because aesthetic.
So I was in Colorado hiking with my buddy Ronnie, and the Arkansas River you can step over, right?
No shit.
Along Highway 24.
The Colorado starts like that too.
So then when I come to Little Rock, I'm looking at this giant ass river, and I'm like, "What river is that?" And they said, "That's the Arkansas River." I was like, "That's the river that I stepped over in Colorado."
Fuck yeah.
It's huge here. So while I was there, I learned so many coping and dealing with PTSD techniques from the counselors and therapists there that I got voted in as the president to speak for all of the veterans at the Fort Root site, basically as a liaison between them and the counselors and stuff, to like almost like mesh the programs together. So because of that, I started trying to be more involved with helping other veterans. That's what I was talking about with the 10% thing, right?
Yeah,
Me
yeah.
tithing or giving back to specific people. I found out through going to that PTSD place that there's so many veterans that are dealing with shit that they don't know how to articulate. And that's why these people at this place voted me into that position to almost speak for them, because one of my abilities is articulation through written and word expression. So I can say certain things that people are feeling that they just don't know how to
voice.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I made a decision to go to the American Legion thing, not to just get a flag, but to join the American Legion, because I always thought there was a bunch of old people. It's a bunch of old people.
That's what I thought it was.
Right. And so when I went in there and I'm talking to them, it is a lot of older veterans, right? But it made me realize the need and the spot for me to step up into my community as a man that has been through this, like a young man that's not old, to almost carry the flag into the future.
Well, I say that same thing in regards to our government as a broad general
Right.
aspect. You know, like us, you know, we are the new voice of our environment, our nation, you know,
our town.
And so like I love that, because I feel like that's gonna, it's a different type of spark. It's because like in any environment, it is easy to become complacent within an idea, but new things, just because somebody has a voice, it should not be like deterred from, you know, it should be embraced. And like, you know,
so that's why they taught me about isolating myself and letting my voice be heard, to where it's like, they were like, Ben, you're not only helping yourself, but you're helping the other veterans and other people around you in your process of helping yourself. So I went to the American Legion meeting, and I kind of listened as they went around talking about their business or what they needed to do. And like on March 7th, we're doing a cooking thing, or they're going to have a DJ and play music and do a silent auction at the American Legion. And they were like, but we don't really have the money to invest in the food, and we don't really have this and that. And so they got to me over there to talk and asked if I had anything to add.
Yeah,
I almost started crying, but I was like, I have these abilities that I want to add to y'all and bring to this group. And like, I'm going to cook tacos that day for y'all, and I'm going to go buy all the meat, and I'm going to come and donate my time in the tacos.
It's proactive.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I was like, even if nobody shows up, it'll still be me helping these other veterans that are at this meeting. Right. But they're doing it in order to raise money for them to help in the community and do different stuff. So I saw opening that needed help, right? That I had the qualifications to step in and help them. And so by me saying
Well,
all that,
don't be even, it's not even just qualifications, man. That is a drive.
right.
You know?
Well, when I see that, I seize, right? I stop.
I see.
Yeah, I stop.
You
stop
synced it.
here, but I stop doubting whenever I see opportunities, because stuff gets presented to me in life, and it's like you can either watch it go by, or you can jump in there and grab it, and you can walk like this, or you can walk like this.
Oh, what was your buddy? What was his name?
Ronnie.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, Ronnie.
Yeah, and so see what I'm saying? It's like, so by me doing that, the guy across the said, man, we've been needing that kind of spark in here for a long time.
Fuck yeah, dude.
And so the guy that gave me the flag is named Bill Hargrove. Bill Hargrove has been a friend of my family for years, but he's also a veteran, and he's one of the leaders of the American Legion Post 56. Right. So he told me that flag, he's had that flag for almost like 10 years or something at his house. Right. And so he wanted to donate that flag instead of them ordering another one that size. He gave me that flag and asked me if I would put it up. So whenever he gave me the flag, I went out there and I looked at the flagpole.
I'm like, fuck.
And so when I looked at it, I saw that the line was cut up there at the top. And then I was like, okay, so now it's like
a domino. Like, this is
where it stops. And so now I have to figure out a way to overcome this obstacle, right? And so our training in the military is when you come up to an obstacle, you either go around it, you go over it, you go under it, or you go,
motherfucker.
Right? You go through it. So I couldn't go through the flagpole. I couldn't go, you know what I'm saying? But what I could do,
in a proverbial sense,
right, was use my contacts and people that I know that are good people in the community and be like, okay, I can't do this, but they can. Well, okay, what am I going to have to do to try to talk this guy into doing this, right? And so if they're already of the like mind and the like heart and already wanting to help, it's easy to get those people to help because they're already ready to help. It's just they don't know where to go to or how to, so they end up not a lot of times.
But a lot of times where people stop and a lot of times people fail is that you never know until you ask. How easy it is to use your words. We spoke about this prior to the podcast. Speaking is effortless.
Yep.
What do you have to lose by asking a question? Because if you come to a fucking dead end road, that's just gonna give you another spark to be like, okay, well, problem solving, action versus reaction. Okay, well, if Joe can't help me, maybe Ben can.
Well, see, I was always wanting to help. I've always wanted to help. And then shout out to Steve Wolfham. He contacted me whenever he found out that I had to go into that PTSD program. And I was telling him how I wanted to help other veterans and stuff. He was like, you have the right heart to do it. You need the training now in order to help yourself so that you can help others. And that reverberated like for me throughout the whole time I was in that program, because I had to put on my gas mask, like in order to take care of me so that I can help all these other people. Because, when you want to help, right? Like that sign, for example, if I would have been messy, I could have screwed that sign up.
Oh man, you could have.
I could have spray painted all over.
You could have fucking painted those letters fucking.
That's what I'm saying. And so you have to
blue.
Whenever you go at
colors,
something, whenever you go at something, you have to almost be.
It's intention.
Calm, cool, collected, and intentional with what you're doing, and not be out of control. So a lot of times whenever somebody wants to help and they're first figuring out that they want to help, or that they're first figuring out, like, I want to do something, right? I want to do, you don't know where to begin, and you're almost like, out of sorts, right? Whenever you go through something like I did with the PT, every morning, all right, let me give you all a rundown of what every day looked like. I wake up in the PTSD place in my own room, right? In the first 2 weeks, I had a roommate, okay? And me and him would both wake up about the same time, and you go get breakfast at the cafeteria. When you left breakfast, you had to go to, it's called mindfulness meeting. And so in the mindfulness meeting,
how are you spiritually, physically, and emotionally?
No, sort of, but not really. So you go into there thinking all that, right?
Yeah.
But then whenever the Dr. Ray will put on, he'll basically, everybody sit in a circle and put on some type of meditative music or whatever and let you just sit there for a minute, like quiet. And then he would start guiding the meditation to where it was like, okay, today we're going to start at the top of our head and we're going to feel our head and then we're going to go to our ears and then our eyes and nose and mouth. And so he would keep like a calm voice as he was leading you through your body. Right. And so then you would go to your breath and you'd almost like focus in on right there, right then of being mindful of you. It's like the world has so much like in it, right? Like around us, and what can we affect versus what we can't affect. And so during the mindfulness meeting, you would just sit there and breathe and listen as you went down your body. And then at the end, he would ask if anybody wanted to add anything. It was like 30 minutes that you were in there. And so then you would go on with your day and you'd have classes. Like we'd go to woodworking class where I learned to turn the pins and I was making pins. Like I got to where I was really good
at pins are nice.
Did you know what I'm talking about now? You see my videos?
But yeah, I like wood ones and ones that are made of horn.
And then the acrylic ones.
Fuck yeah, man.
Right. And so I got to where I was really good at that. I was like, y'all mean I can come in here and do this every day? Y'all gonna let me do this? Right. I was excited to be in there doing some type of art with my hands.
Fuck yeah, man.
So then you left there and you'd have to go to
stimulating.
Right. You'd have to go to a meeting with other veterans in a small, like, group size meeting. And then the veterans would lead the meeting. You go around and talk about what you wanted to get out of the program or what you were getting out of the program. And you weren't supposed to like talk about one upping each other, like with military stories, because you didn't want to get into an argument.
Well, that's an ego. It's supposed to be an ego death.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And so that would be like another 30 minutes to an hour. And then we go to lunch. And then after lunch, you would have, depending on what day of the week it was, you'd have an individual meeting with your therapist. And then you'd have some type of outside activity as a group or whatever. And so then if we left the facility, when you came back, you'd have to take a drug test anytime that you left. And then anytime that you came in for the night, you have to take a breathalyzer to show you weren't drinking, because they had the substance abuse hall right there, the homeless hall, and then the PTSD people. So there were everybody in the whole place was just veterans.
But it's still like they keep that, like everybody's like in tune
with healing
for that standard,
right? Yeah. But you're like if you're here for PTSD, you have a different class schedule than the other people, right? So one of the things that stayed with me, the biggest thing, like if I could pick one thing from that whole thing, this guy named Corey that was that worked there, one of the psychologists or therapists there, he said a lot of times we're going around saying like I went from 0 to 100 real quick. Like that means like somebody just snapped, right? But he said most people are driving around at 60 and they don't realize it. It's because you got all these things that are eating at you or that you're not facing or you're not dealing with that's taking over the forefront of who you are. And so you're driving around at 60 already. And so it didn't take you much to get to 100 because you're already at 60.
But it teaches you about like your self-awareness and situational awareness.
Right.
Yeah.
And so then at that same place, like they helped me regulate what medicines were working and what wasn't. Before I went there, I kind of had stopped taking the medicines because it wasn't working. But then they helped me figure out what sleep medicines worked good for me that didn't leave me drowsy the next day. They helped me figure out like a mood stabilizer that worked for me that didn't make me feel like I was somebody else.
Well, you still felt present.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So I look at the whole process now as like, I am so thankful like to have gone through this because it showed me the tools that I wasn't using to be able to help myself and to help other people. And I almost became, there's this Kobe Bryant commercial with Kanye West and Kobe's up there. Kobe's up there talking about, are you doing this? Are you doing that? And Kanye's like, what else do you want from me, Kobe Bryant?
No, I'm Kanye.
And he's like, you got to be the same animal, but a different beast.
Oh, fuck.
Right. And so it's like, I'm still being but I'm different because of what I've learned and been through. But now I'm not suffering through it. Now I'm empowering people because of it. And so whenever I figured out how to transmute that, then now what was pain has turned into joy and overcoming. And so when I see obstacles, I'm no longer like, oh shit, it's an obstacle. I'm like, oh, how am I going to get around this? And how am I going to document me doing it so I can inspire other people?
Oh, you're creating your own happiness.
Right.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm creating content. And so all of it's content along the way. And so basically I've become my own cameraman. And, like there's this movie called a series called Alone, that they put these contestants in the wilderness. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah, Naked and Afraid?
No, not Naked and Afraid. It's called Alone. And it's basically like 30 or 40 contestants, and they see how long they can last in the wilderness in this one little area, but separated, right? And they only can bring like 5 or 6 things. And so what I realized is that I'm alone. Like I am alone.
But
like
you're not alone.
Right, but I'm not alone. And so that is the reason why I started trying to do what I can with who I can, where I can, is because I'm no longer going to isolate myself and my gifts. And so it's to where it's like, I'm going to help my family. I'm going to help my friends. I'm going to help my community. I'm going to help whoever I can help when I can help them. If I can't help them, then I'll figure out somebody that can. And so it ends up becoming this constant flow of creativity that anybody can like jump on board, and to where it's once the momentum starts rolling, right? You start just rolling the momentum of you doing stuff. Other people will start just doing stuff because you're doing stuff, because
it feels fucking good.
It feels good to help others, and to be the reason why that somebody wants to like wake up the next day or excited about living. And it's like, bro, we don't have to just be here dying. You know what I'm saying? Like we can be here living. And so I was always already inspirational. I was always already wanting to help, but now I may not move as fast because I've had 2 knee surgeries.
Hey, man, those are good fucking knees.
Hey, bro.
Those are good fucking knees, all right?
But now it's like I have unlocked rooms inside my mind because of going to get help for my military pain, and not just military. Like we had a booklet that you had to fill. You had to work in this workbook in the evenings, right? And it was basically stuck points is what it was called. It's where you're something that bothers you about your past, or something that's keeping you stuck on some pain, right?
Instead of rolling past it,
identify it
or bottling it.
Right. So the first step is identifying the pain and the source of it. And then you have to dive deeper into that area under the next boxes in the page, right? So you would sit there with the doctor at the end of the week, and you would go over this page, right?
Motherfucker.
Boy, he dig deep in you, boy.
Fucking...
And so where he got me, and I had like a turning point in the whole process was, he asked me if I like movies, right? And because I was always talking about different movie quotes or this and that. And, we started talking about Lord of the Rings. And so he used
stupid fat herbivores.
Right. He used Boromir as me. Like he was like, you're Boromir. And I was like, what do you mean? Like I'm Boromir.
What the fuck you mean I'm Boromir?
Right. No, that's how you come into the program. Yeah. That's exactly how I came into the program. Yeah. Lo and look, the first night was rough, bro. I remember calling my DOG, my Department of Justice person from the VA, saying, y'all put me in the wrong place. This place is full of alcoholics and homeless people. Like I'm in the wrong spot. And they're like, no, you need this. Like you really need this for PTSD. I was telling Dr. Ray, like, I don't need to be here. Like, I don't, like, I'm just here because of this.
But you haven't self-identified.
Right. And so whenever we were talking about the Lord of the Rings, he said, you know why Boromir didn't want to go into Moria? And I was like, no. He was like, because he was going to have to face himself. So when they were at the mountain, right, and there was different places, right, that they were going to have to choose to go, Boromir did not want to go into Moria, into the mines of the Moria, because he knew that he was going to have to face that inside him where he wanted the ring, right? And he was going to have to make a choice, like, of which side to be on. And so when I was Boromir in my mind, I looked to my left and I saw Dr. Ray standing there. with me. And so it wasn't the psychologist outside, like looking into the cave, talking about me in there. He was right there with me.
He was Elrond.
He was right there like Gandalf or somebody. But he helped me see the pain wall. And so what I related it to is a pain house, right? So if you have a house that you've made up all this pain, right? And each room you walk into is a different pain, right? And you don't want to face it. You don't want to deal with it. You don't want to talk about it.
To another door.
Right. You just go past it.
You just go down the hallway.
But you leave it up. You leave it up and it's there and it's in you. And you sometimes when nobody's around, you go into that room and you cry and you're in pain and you deal with it however you deal with it.
But instead of shutting that door, you leave that door open.
And so you go up to the wall and you disassemble it with a person that is trained to help you disassemble it. You don't go to a wood, to get a house built for wood. You don't go to get wood from a glass maker, and you don't go get wood from a glass maker. You see what I'm saying? So he helped me disassemble the wall as a trained professional to be able to say, these are the problems, and not just kind of gray area. We had boxes that I had filled out and we went step by step on how to disassemble this wall and go deeper into it until you're sitting there almost bawling your eyes out in front of this psychologist because you realize what he's doing at the time. And you don't tear down the wall, you transform it into where it's still there. And it's still pain that's part of your life.
But you recognize.
But you're able to take that and then transmute it into a overcoming power of feeling that you can do this, and that you not only can do this, but you can help other people, show them, look, y'all, look how I disassembled my pain wall. Like, y'all, you can do this too, type of thing. But you have to figure out how to articulate that for each person. And that's when I realized that it's not my job to do that, that there are people that are licensed and that they're trained and that they can equip you with the tools so that you can to do that. But it's on us to meet them halfway. So, I took one of the woodworking wheels, right, that we were sanding the stuff, you know, the sandpaper that's on a wheel whenever. Mm-hmm. So when we were making the pins, you take the block and you push it up to the wheel and you sand off some of the pin. So we had to take the old one off and put a new one on. Well, when I took that old one off, I was looking at it, it kind of looked like an eye. Right. And so I took that and I went back and got a canvas and I glued it on the canvas and I painted around it and wrote this thing on the back for them. And when I was a president, right, so I had to lead the meeting every week on Friday where the veterans and the people that work there come together.
And it's what you saw.
And I told them that they had to be moldable, like how we were molding the pins. You have to be willing and almost like meet the people that's wanting to help you halfway so that you can get the help. Because if you're blocked off and you don't want to deal with the pain, you act like it's not there, they can't help you. You see what I'm saying? So you almost have to like show yourself to these people so that they can really see the source of what's wrong to figure out what they need to do to help you.
Because you are the tool. You have every means for yourself, but sometimes, you know what we do a lot of the times? How many times you fucking threw away directions?
Yeah.
I hate to be like this. We gotta stop.
Oh man, I feel like we're just getting good. Damn it.
No, it's too much.
I feel like this is every time we get fucking Ben on here.
Sorry, bro. I start going and then, you know what I'm saying? And then we just boom, boom, boom.
We're at a certain point where it just takes so long to edit after an hour. It exacerbates
we got
the process.
Some good shit, though. It was good.
It's always good, man. I want to go ahead and say this will be my ending tidbit, my words of wisdom, is that as a civilian and my brothers who are veterans, there's always been something lacking with their, like the mental health capacity with veteran affairs. And there's always been such a process. This has been like the most wonderful story I've ever heard from a veteran that has achieved like their higher self.
Right. Almost a balance.
Man, like, it's because, you know, between Joe, my best friend, Dylan Scott, his other corpsman that he was with, you know, like you guys suffer from things, and a lot of the times, going to the VA, it's always a fucking struggle or a process, or it seems like a fucking moot fucking point, because whether it's fucking funding or even like the drive to help somebody. Not everybody is. You don't know where to go to get help sometimes, and I feel like where you had went to in Little Rock, you found your haven for what you need for yourself, dude, and that's fucking beautiful.
Just gotta be willing, and then just breathe. Just remember to breathe.
Remember to breathe, boy,
and then keep going. Breathe and keep going, bro. Look, my whole saying is let's go right now.
Hey,
you get it all together, and then let's go. So right now I'm going. I'm just going.
You know what I say? Where's your backpack?
Where's your backpack?
Get your shit together.
Yeah.
Where's that backpack? Go to sleep with that motherfucker. Wake up with that motherfucker.
So some days, bro, ain't shit happening, but I continuously try to do something for either myself, my family, or my friends, or my community. And I think everybody should just try to be aware of where they live and who they are and where they come from.
Absolutely.
Take some pride in it,
But you got to love you before you love others.
Right.
You're number one.
In order, yeah.
You're number one.
I guess I'm gonna be one of them old heads with you. Do I need like a paper to fill out?
Yeah, you got to fill out paper. It's like $35
we at that point in life, bro.
$35.
Hey, but look, bro, I'm telling you, we gonna be the new faces. We gonna be the new. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they
could be the old
need
new
that,
people.
and I feel like y'all can do that.
I know enough veterans, but we can start taking this whole thing over, bro. We gonna take over.
I mean, it's true. I mean, we should. I mean, I should go do that. It might be beneficial.
You're not getting
for
any
me.
younger.
Yeah. I mean, shit. I'm 36. I am an old guy.
Bro,
Hey, you have more hair than me still.
Hey, look, I know my ability is to know that. I know what I can do. So whenever I see a need for that, it's easy for me just to do it.
All right.
That's because you want to.
Yeah, I want to, and it's because that's what I do. It's
as you does,
yeah,
Ben
bro.
Jones.
That's what I do, and so I just got to keep doing it, and then I find happiness in it to where I can breathe and sleep at night. You know what I'm saying?
Well, brother, it's always
Thank y'all for having me.
always a
It's a
pleasure.
pleasure.
I've missed the fuck out of you, dude.
It's good seeing
I'm
both of y'all, bro.
So happy to fucking
Hey,
sit down with
tacos
you.
at Pawnee sometime when
We
y'all
still-
ready, bro.
We still gotta
All right.
we gotta get down with some fucking tacos, man.
Yeah.
Thank you to the audience for tuning in to this. This was fucking awesome, man. This was great.
Yes.
That was good.
I know you hardly ever talk every time I come on, Joe. It's like me just bop, 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 bop,
no,
bop,
it's
bop,
fine.
and go
I
by
get-
keeping me in line.
Dude, it's
I
it's
got
easy
plenty
on
of
us,
time.
actually. You know what I'm saying? Like, anytime we have a guest, because when it's just Joe and I, he always texts me, "What do you want to talk about?" Like, dude, I don't fucking know ever what to talk about.
Ben's
dude.
coming on. Oh, it's just
Like, thank God. Yeah, thank God Ben's here. Right on, dude. But, dude, brother, thank you so
Hey,
much.
thank y'all,
I love
bro.
you, man.
I feel like
bro.
y'all are giving y'all continuous and giving me like the whole process of I can paint it, I can write about it, and y'all are giving me a portion where I can talk about it. So I appreciate y'all.
You're a fucking cartographer, dude. You're fucking mapping it, bro.
Y'all are awesome.
Ben, Kobi.
Later, Gators.
Oh,
Hey,
you
hey.
guys steal it again? What it do, Gators?
I'm Kobi.
Ben Jones.
Ben Jones. I love y'all. Thank y'all so much.